2 days since we played the grand final, but finally, the footy is back. Very exciting indeed. Hutch, we have a history-making show tonight. What is coming up?
It doesn't get any bigger than this, Becca. Strap yourself in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Luke Hodge breaks his silence on his round one ban of the Hawthorn Footy Club. Is here on the panel. Plus, live exclusive from Barrel for the first time, the biggest name in football history, Tony Tiger Lockett, joined us from Barrel tonight.
Sam Newman sits down with Mike Sheehan in our brand new segment, Open Mouth.
On the eve of this history-making occasion, the magnificent AFLW tonight, an all-star female panel, the women's stars Darcy Vecchio and Katie Brennan.
And also tonight, Sam Newman and Shane Crawford put their heads together and put down their top 8 for 2017. All right, a lot to look forward to on the footy show, but we can't do it without a first-class panel. And have we delivered tonight? Please put your hands together for our first panel this evening. Luke Hodge from the Hawthorn Footy Club, Michael Hurley from Essendon, and Shane Crawford. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
Welcome, lads. Plenty to get through with the three stars of the competition, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Crawford, Great to have you along. But it's the most humbling moment in Australian television to introduce the next man who's been here for 25 plus years. The most watched and watchable man on the small screen. 300-game VFL AFL champion. 40-year television icon. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one, the only, John Sammy Newman.
Come on, baby. Come on. Animals and kids.
Even the dog doesn't want to have a bar.
Come on, here, look, here, come on, here.
Bring the dog near the stairs.
Right, piss it.
Come on, there we go.
Come on. Here.
Hey, what are you doing, sir?
Now, look, I tell you what.
Hello. What's the dog's name?
I don't know.
That's Elroy.
Elwood. I tell you what happened. I threw a stick and he went and got it, and I went to give him one of these as a reward, and he bit my hand. So I'm sorry about...
Oh, no, you're lying, Sam.
It's a bit of a tall story,
Well,
I think.
I am lying. Here, eat that. You eat it.
You're making fun of Jordan.
I tell you what happened last week. I came out to sing that song about there's only one Tony Lockett and the audio didn't work, and I got that pissed off. I went out and belted the door inside. So I tell you what, the unintended consequences...
Here it is.
This is it. I couldn't hear a word. 25 years into this.
Really out of whack, wasn't it?
It's a pretty lame excuse, mate.
The unintended consequences... The unintended consequences of lying is the fact that...
Where's the dog gone? Hang on. Dog's gone.
Here.
The dog's very wise. It wants to get out of here. Okay.
Here, look, here.
Here. Go to
Come on.
That's right.
Oh, you're a natural animal, Sam. You're natural.
Sit.
That would explain why when I asked for a drink
Sit.
of water before, someone offered me a bowl.
The unintended consequences of lying...
You're talking about Jordan De Goey, the Collingwood 21-year-old who was caught napping, caught lying this week, and is been sanctioned by the club. Damien Barrett, by the way, with some breaking news on that a little bit later on.
I'll say this again. If you cry wolf or cry dog, and you lie, not only do you miss games, but the RSPCA got wind of this, and they came around and they shot his dog.
Let's move on, I think, Sam.
And the people who were there said that the dog, as it looked down the barrel of a 12-gauge, thought, why? What have I done? And they just shot it because they said it was cruelty.
They didn't
And that's what happens when you lie.
Let's move on, please.
What did happen, though, is that Jordan De Goey did lie to the footy club, and he made his coach go out and look like he was lying as well, and that wouldn't be pleasing to Nathan Buckley. Hodgie, we'll get to your situation in a minute, but what do you think of this De Goey situation? Because In this day and age, I do find it actually unbelievable that a player would go to the club and actually lie about how he's hurt his hand.
Yeah, I think that'd be probably the most disappointing thing for the footy club. I think any young person makes mistakes. So if he's obviously gone out and made a mistake. I think every person here would put their hand up and say when they were 21 they made mistakes. I guess where they're probably disappointed why he got such a hard sanction was the fact that he lied to the club, and that's probably the main thing that they're disappointed with.
It talks to trust, though, isn't it? Isn't that what binds every footy club, is trust in each other? Obviously, he's young and he made a mistake, but how hard would it be, Michael, for them, his contemporaries, his peers, to forgive him or give him another chance on the back of the lie that did make Nathan Buckley and others look a little foolish?
Yeah, well, I guess having lived through this in the past myself, it can be really difficult. Obviously, it takes time to gain that trust back, and he's put himself in a tricky situation. So all he can do now is put his head down and work really hard, and hopefully he gains it back.
Now, you're not going to believe this, Sam. He blamed the dog, and I understand it's a cross between a Shih Tzu and a Bull Terrier, so otherwise known as a bullshit. So that's not a good thing. But it's not the first time that De Goey, he's gone back on his word. When he was drafted, have a look at what he said about Nathan Buckley and Collingwood.
When I met Nathan Buckley on stage, obviously it was a massive whirlwind, but I said to him, I'll never let you down. So that's something I live by.
Yeah.
It's only a white lie.
No, he's a wonderful young player.
Never fess up unless you're actually absolutely caught in the act.
No, absolutely not.
And when you are caught,
out there, don't listen to
when
Sam.
you've just been sprung with your next door neighbour and you're lying there in the rack and in comes your partner, so it's not what you think. It's not what you think.
Let's just say it is safe to say that Jordan De Goey won't be playing football for a lot longer than it takes for his hand to heal. So, Hodgie, that actually brings us to your situation. It hasn't been the ideal start for you or the footy club. You have been suspended. You're going to miss round 1 for not turning up to training a Monday morning session.
But you didn't lie.
No, he didn't lie.
Said, no, I'd been out on a bender and that was it.
No, he did not lie. What actually happened?
Yeah, no, I'll clarify. It was my brother's 21st on the Sunday. We had it at our house. It was actually one of the well-behaved 21st. I think we kicked everyone out at 9 o'clock. So people said that
well, that's breaking news. Hang on.
we kicked him out at 9 o'clock because it was lights out. We cleaned everything up, and that was the end of that. There was not alcohol, and then a few things happened the next morning which I felt that I needed to attend to, stay at home and attend to, which if I had informed the club a little bit earlier than what I did, it would have been okay. And I think that's the biggest part of where I've let down. With football clubs, and went back to go with the communication. If your communication's spot on straight away, they're no problems. Where I was a few hours behind and let them know what I was doing, and that's what my punishment's for.
Okay, so who delivered you the news that you would be missing out on round 1? What was the situation? Was it new captain Jared Roughead, and how did you respond to that?
Yeah, it was Ruffy. It was a leadership group who I was in there with. My initial response was I thought it was a bit tough, but in saying that, I've been in their position. We've lost 2 very influential people in our football club in Mitch and Louis last year, and I guess people were waiting for Hawthorn to go down. I guess this is a new leadership group who needed to make a stand for any young bloke who's walked into the club and any people who are going to walk into the club in the future, that they're not going to take anything. So, and as I said, the simple thing of communication is such an easy thing to do. I let the team down, let the players down in that situation. So it's a clear stance from Ruffy and the leaders of what they're going to take in while they're leading the club.
You've been around a long time. Why didn't you let them know? It's a Monday morning training session. What were the circumstances? Alistair said you might reveal them when you're ready.
No, I won't reveal them. They're personal enough for me to think I should not go to training, and I won't reveal them. But as I said, if I was in that situation again, I'd make 100% the same decision, but I would inform the club earlier. And that's what it comes down to. As I said, communication's huge with football clubs these days, and as long as you let them know as soon as you can, they're okay with it.
Shane?
I think Luke Hodge pretty much wrote the rule book at Hawthorn over the last 5 or 6 years, so it's pretty much his own penalty. But he's been a wonderful role model. Yeah, sure, we all make mistakes, but he's been an amazing role model. Yeah, he's missing round 1. He's copped it on the chin. So, he'll get on with it and have a wonderful year, but he's just an amazing leader on and off the field.
you don't agree with the 1 week out suspension?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't.
So this is a criticism
I'm
of
not
Alistair
in the inner sanctum
Clarkson
anymore.
This is a criticism,
No,
Shane, do I take it that this is a criticism of the coach and the board?
No, absolutely not.
Well,
but,
then why? Well,
I
hang on.
just don't think he deserves to be missing a week. You know, he's copped it fair enough.
I
And the
think
media have given
footy-
him a hard time, and maybe there's a financial penalty as well. We don't really know. But I think it's pretty harshly done by, and you want all your good players out there. I'm sure that he's learnt from it. He's a very experienced player. He's a wonderful player and, as I said before, a great leader. So we'll get on with it and hopefully we're back playing before we know it.
With that, a lot of people have said it's harsh, but it's a simple thing to do to let your teammates in your club know what you're going to do. So I'll put my hand up where it was my mistake, and I can understand where they're coming from because football clubs are a lot different to everyday working environments. And they need to set example. We've got 45, 46 kids between 18 and 34, I think Sean Bergen is. You need to set strong examples so whoever comes in the football club knows what to stand by.
You don't necessarily agree with the
I've
decision, though. Oh, you can understand where they're coming from because you've walked in those shoes, but you don't agree with the decision.
I understand for what it was. The punishment was pretty severe, but the bigger picture is the football club and where the football club's going in the next 5 years. We don't want to fall back to where we were 10, 12 years ago. And the reasons why we've done what we've done the last few years is because of the high standards we've held. And the new leaders are just continuing on for what we've done for the last 6 or 7 years.
But Hodgie, I put this to you. In 2015, you actually broke the law for drink driving and you just got a fine. In this situation, you broke team rules and you actually get suspended. So team rules supersede the law.
I did. I made a mistake last year. At 2:30 in the morning, I contacted the football club and said I've made a mistake, and the communication lines were straight away. And as far as yes, I was a silly person for what I did back then. The club said I was open, didn't lie when they. This time around, I didn't inform them until later on in the day, which by that stage they're already thinking, what's he doing, where is he? And that's the thing about communication in the football club. You need to be clear, you need to be open, and at least that way the blokes can sort of settle things down for other people's thinking.
Last one on this, Luke. You did put the new captain in a tough spot.
Yeah.
He's coming. His first game as captain this weekend. He's been out for 12 months fighting the most serious illness. How emotional was that? Your chat, Becca touched on it, between the two of you.
Oh, without doubt. When Ruff came out with the punishment, you could sort of see it was hurting in his eyes. But that's the kind of person he is. We've got a fantastic relationship. We've been teammates for 12 years, going to our 13th. And it's not being in that position as well. It's a tough thing to do to sort of sit someone down and say, look, you're not playing, considering that's what we do for a living. But as I said, it has not affected our relationship one. I still respect Ruff for the bloke he is, still respect him for the captain he's going to be just from the hard stance he's taken.
Yeah, and speaking of Ruffy, I think I know why you've been suspended for 1 week. Instagram on his birthday, he decided to post this. Here's Ruffy kicking at training and falling over, and he wasn't happy with that. Here he goes. On his birthday, it said, happy birthday, Ruffy, love playing footy with you, and you're posting that on your Instagram. That's why you're out.
He did say he was going to get me back, so I thought this is a little bit harsh getting me back for that.
I think we're witnessing history. This is could be the beginning of the end for the great Hawthorn era because...
I 100% contradict you there, Sam.
No, hang
I
on.
reckon if anything's going to take us in the right direction.
No, because Shane now is sort of
turned
indirectly
on him.
undermining the coach and the board.
He's
saying-
being a very good former teammate, and I'm saying the decision they've made is on the best thing for the footy club going forward.
Well,
Shane got sanctioned about 15
I
times
love
himself.
the Hawthorn Football Club. No, I never did.
Wait
I was
for a
always
call from
perfect.
Alistair Clarkson, Shane, if you're sort of doubting his judgment.
Well, I live too close to him, so I know he'll jump my fence and we'll be punching on before we know it. So,
Luke, fair dinkum, it's Joe.
Hodgie, it's a pretty busy time for you. You've got 3 young boys at home. The youngest, I think, is Leo. We've got some really cute vision that you posted on Instagram. Yeah. Have a look at this.
that's torture.
That is sort of torture, isn't it? I don't know if you could hear that at home, but I don't know how good a parent you are because you had the wrestling on in the background, did you? Was that wrestling or horse racing?
Horse racing.
I couldn't tell you. It looked like it late at night, so I'm not sure if it had been the horse racing. But we're very lucky. He laughs like that most of the time, so he's a very happy baby.
Happy,
Here
lucky
you
kid.
sniggering away there, Shane. You can hardly laugh after your antics as a parent. Yeah.
I'm a very good father.
Oh, yeah.
No, not... That's little Jack. I thought I'd get him to do some chores around the house. Oh, you wait till you listen to this bit. No, don't do it, Jack. Just earning his pocket
That's what
money.
happened to you as a child, Shane.
What?
It sucked your brain out.
Michael Hurley, welcome back to football this weekend for the It's been a long time coming. A year would have felt like a lifetime. It was a fascinating insight into that with Rebecca in your exclusive interview last year. But it's great to have you back in Essendon colours for the weekend. You must be excited.
Yeah, I'm absolutely pumped. As you said, it's been quite a long time since we've played a senior game of footy, so really looking forward to getting out there.
Michael, when we sat down in the middle of last year, it was the first time an Essendon player had ever looked like that.
Is that you, by the way?
Who is that?
Actually, I just want to clarify, was that actually you that I was talking to in that interview?
Forrest Gump.
You look completely different.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
Like Crime Stoppers.
I love it.
That was actually the first time that an Essendon player had actually honestly opened up about the personal toll that it had taken, the drugs ban, the supplements ban. Is that all behind you now? Do you have any ill feelings towards the club or what happened, or have you been able to push that all aside now?
Yeah, no, I think that's all over for us. Obviously, coming back into the club in November, I think the group as a whole decided that that was in the past. It was obviously a difficult situation and not nice for anybody, but I think coming back into the club, we've all decided that what's happened, and looking forward to just playing footy again.
What kind of a team are you going to be? There's great unknown about this Essendon Footy Club going into this year. They've got the form in the JLT was pretty good at times and waned at other times. Certainly you'll improve. How much do you think?
Yeah, I think it's sort of a hard one to predict. I think we're going to be quite an exciting team. Obviously got some really exciting players in our forward half. I'd like to think that we're going to be really contested as well. We've got some great names around the footy as well. So I think they're two things you'll see from us this year, and hopefully we can improve.
Now, your kicking is wonderful. It's a secret weapon. But can you please explain what happened here? Playing Fremantle, you're having a shot for goal. Take us through it. What happens here? That's quite possibly the worst kick I've ever seen in my life. So we'll have another look at it. But what was going on there? Did you kick the ground?
I think that was pretty much the end of my forward line career. I think I was just looking after Stewie Crammer.
But you did hit the target.
Beautifully disguised.
So it's a beautiful kick.
Yeah, he loved the goal, so I was always passing off to him.
Now, also, your teammate, Zach Merritt, he was an ambassador for Country Week, but he's definitely not a country boy. Have a look at him with the big tomahawk, cracking the whip. OK, they're being taught what to do. Tomahawk knows what he's doing. Zach, OK, ambassador for Country Week. Look at that, he got no idea what's going on. Is he a country boy?
Well, he's originally from Cobden, but went to Melbourne Grammar, played under 18s
I wonder he
for
can't crack a whip.
Sandringham Dragons, so I don't think he's been back home for a while by the looks of that.
Can you crack a whip, Sam? Can you taught that at school?
No, we didn't do whip cracking at Geelong Grammar, no.
What can you crack?
Do you know what the sound of the whip cracking is?
Sorry?
This
The
is
sound
true.
of the whip.
Yeah, do you know what makes the sound?
It's the air and the leather.
It's the breaking of the sound barrier.
Is that right? There you
That's
go.
what it is.
Fascinating. We've just joined. This is not the ABC. We've just
There
joined
you
in.
go. Pearls, they tell me you are the best sleeper at the club. You can sleep anywhere, any time of day, any opportunity. Is
Sleep
that true?
now?
Yeah, you are. Just sleep now.
Pretty much.
You
I
probably
always
will go to
cop it a
sleep,
bit,
won't you?
actually, on the plane rides over interstate games or footy trips. As soon as we get in there, as soon as the wheels start moving, I'm asleep. So
Yeah, that's a little bit like the guy who sits to my right.
Oh,
Ray
is that
Hutchison.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what is that? Who's taking a photo of
Where
the
was
bed?
that? Last week?
It's going to be like that, is it? It's going to be like that, is it? Little drive-by? Yeah, OK, we're off and running.
Oh, my goodness.
Fair enough.
Hey, we're going to get on with
That's
the
not
game.
me, by the way.
let's.
Hey, let's
Yes,
get on.
it is. Don't
not
lie.
me.
Don't lie.
Let's get on with the game. Thursday night, it's going to be massive. The Mighty Blues taking on the Mighty Richmond Football Club. Let's have a look at the Blues side. Now, a few new players coming in. Mark's back, Pickett, Petrevsky, Seaton and Billy Smets. It's a real development year for the Blues. Like, they're just going to hang in there and play their young kids. And we have a look at the Mighty Tigers. Are they ready to roar? Butler comes in and Purvis comes in. Josh Caddy and Dion Presti. A lot of senior players coming in. Also, Bashahuli playing his 150th game. It's a great story, so congratulations to you. But the story of the game for me is all about Jack Revon. I think he's the best forward in the competition. His role's changed over the last few years. He's pushed further up the field. But if Richmond are going to be a force this year, they need him to play closer to goal. They need him to have a bit of space to work in too. He's a wonderful kick. He's a super mark. And for me, if Richmond are to make the finals, he needs to play all year and needs to play closer to goal.
Richmond's most important game of the year, no question, to get out of the gates. 8 new faces. Sam Petrevski-Seaton, well done. The first draft pick hasn't played in the pre-season. Will debut for the Blues, which is great.
They are certainties in this match. There's nothing surer than Richmond wins.
Are you tipping, Michael?
Yeah, I think Richmond will be too strong.
Yeah, I think Carlton's done the right thing. They've got to keep blooding the younger guys, get more games into the younger fellas. I see they've brought 3 in from GWS. They've got Smets coming in this week, so as long as they keep getting games into the younger guys, it's going to be better for their future. But
Podgy,
I think Richmond are going to be
How many games
too
do you reckon Carlton can win this season? How many games do you reckon Carlton can win this season?
I haven't looked through their draw, but I think it's not so much about this year for them. I think it's most is about, as I said, is getting games into their younger guys. And as I said, their run's going to be in a few years when they get their mid-tier players playing 80, 90, 100 to 150 games. So, look, it's hopefully if they can be as competitive as what they were last year with giving the young guys a game, I think that's what their supporters and their coaching staff will be happy with.
Who are you tipping, Sam?
The expectation, isn't it, as a marketing ploy, wouldn't it be best to see AFL sides, the first time you see them for the year in round 1, why do they play each other in practice games? The first time you see your side...
I think there's something theatrical about that in the ideal world.
The first time you see your side should be when it comes out for round 1.
Or in your case, not at all for the year.
No, they should play other sides, interstate sides. Yep. I don't know why they play one another, because it's an anticlimax.
Are you tipping?
But I'm tipping. I think the weight of expectation on Richmond to actually go whack at the start of the season will be too much for them, and I think Carlton will win.
I'm going to tip Richmond. I just want to congratulate Frank Cochin on being renamed captain.
And well done to KB today too. Had a statue named after him outside the
Unbelievable.
great man of football. Congratulations. You look magnificent. And how was the pose go, Beck?
Like, I can't move because my jacket's really tight, but it's somewhat up there.
Not bad. Big night for Bill Brownless, isn't it?
It is a huge night for Bill Brownless because we've sent him on a very, very special assignment. In fact, I don't know if he's up for it, but we've sent him all the way up
career defining.
It is career defining. We've sent him all the way up to Bowral in New South Wales, and that is where we find the great Billy Brownless tonight. Hello, Billy. This, honestly...
I'm in the heart of the Bradman Museum here. Look at it all here. And Don Bradman, of course, was the greatest cricketer ever to play for Australia. And I'm looking for the greatest footballer ever to play our game. It's going to be a huge interview. It's going to be the biggest interview this year. Actually, the biggest interview for a decade. And guess who's doing it? Me. Oh, the exclusive Brownless. Don't worry about that. And it is interesting because there's 3 journos sitting back there in the studio. And what are you 3 journos doing? Nothing. You're sitting on your fat orts and you're doing nothing. So I have to come out and do this interview, and it's a good thing. You know why it's a good thing? Because Plugger doesn't like journos.
What?
Oh.
Here he is here, of course. He's on the crutches. He's trying to get away from everyone. Eddie Maguire tries to get some words off him, and he just throws a crutch. Good on you, Plugger. I love that. You journos, fair dinkum.
Well, come on then, Bill.
That's great. That's what it's all about. So we're here. We're in Barrel. I'm trying to find him. Old exclusives. He'll be up to his best. I'll get him here very shortly, and we'll have a chat to the great man, Tony Plugger Lockett.
Bill's committed himself. We want all the hard questions from Bill. We want the question about the pig, about Peter Cave and the whole thing. Billy can take care of all that for us a little bit later on in the show. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Lockett will be unbelievable a little bit later on in the program tonight on a huge footy show on this Wednesday night.
There's only one Tony Lockett. We talk live and exclusively to one of the game's greatest ever, Plugger. Our man Mike returns to put the Foss under the spotlight in open mouth. That's one big rooster. On the eve of the first Women's Grand Final, we're joined live by 2 of the AFLW's biggest stars, Katie Brennan and Darcy Vesio. Sam and I will battle it out and reveal our top 8s for season 2017. It's enough to have you dancing in the streets and jumping for joy. Tonight on The Footy Show.
greatest game in the world.
Yeah.
All those highlights put together. We've got one more sleep until it all begins. Absolutely cannot wait. A little later on the show, we have Sam Newman going one-on-one with Mike Sheehan in our new segment, Open Mouth. Looking very much forward to that.
Wow.
Croft, what have you been doing the week? Reading some very good articles, newspapers,
Absolutely,
and documents?
but can I just say the Bulldogs were magnificent.
Weren't
I loved
they?
it, even though I don't support them. I absolutely loved it. They was magnificent. Hey, I loved on the weekend, the magazine, you're on the cover in a happy place. I really love that.
Oh,
and
Rebecca's
I
happy
can tell
place.
you right now, this week, we've got a new person on the cover. Craig Hutchison is going to be starring. There he is. He needs to clean up around the house, but it doesn't stop there. The old Fossil's going to be on the cover as well. That's his happy place. The old portable potty. That's very good.
Razor sharp,
Well,
Shane.
they're very good
Razor
save.
sharp.
Very good.
Hopefully your Hawks are a bit sharper this weekend against Essendon as round one kicks off at the MCG. This is going to be magnificent. The story of this game is the two comeback kids for varying reasons. Dyson Heppel and Jared Roughhead, Leon Gather boys, both of them yet to play in 18 months of football. They grew up in the same town, the same community, Roughhead Street, Leon Gather, where the footy ground is. And it will be unbelievable, Michael Hurley, this weekend to see those two childhood mates, 4 years apart, toss the coin at the MCG.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, really, to see the two blokes from such a small country town and captaining such big clubs in the AFL. So it's really exciting.
It's going to be a fantastic game of footy. Do you think you got any chance against the Hawks? You've got no Luke Hodge.
He's done you a favour.
Obviously, having no Hodgie will help the situation, but round one, there'll be a lot of nerves, a lot of excitement, and for us, it's going to be an interesting situation. So to play them in round one, I think is a good time to get them. So hopefully we can get them a bit off colour.
Do you think if they're playing the Bulldogs or the Giants, do you think that Luke would be playing? Do you think you'll feel a bit disrespected that they've been able to give him a week because they banked this win against you blokes?
I think it's completely irrelevant who they're playing this week. I think they've obviously got standards and things at the club that they're putting forward, and that's what's happened.
Well, they're back to footy, which is great to see the Essendon Football Club, and you are marking it with a special T-shirt, Hurls. Can we just have a quick look at that?
Yeah.
So there's a special march you're giving away. Yeah, I'm part of the comeback story. So the Essendon Footy Club's giving away 18,000 of these. Their comeback story T-shirts, they're going to all their reserve members, and you're also encouraging the Bombers members, Sam, and I'm wondering if you're going to be a part of this. They've got a comeback walk from Birrarung Mar at 6 o'clock to the G. Here you go. Here you were wearing your T-shirt, not.
Oh, well, I wasn't given it. If the walk's not too long, I'll be able to make it. No, don't worry, I'm a member of the
You're
Bombers.
a member of the Bombers.
After the headlines this week about the West Coast Eagles shows how farcical the Essendon thing is. And what a great job John Worsfold did last year.
He did.
Won 3 games. I said he was on this show. He was on this show at this time last year. I said, mate, you'll fail, you won't win a game. And, of course, one of the games they won was against Geelong. So, looking forward to great things from Essendon.
Beat the Cats today?
What? Didn't they beat the Cats?
I don't think so.
Didn't they?
No.
Didn't Geelong beat the Cats?
No.
No.
Yes,
First half was
the
good.
answer to that is definitely no.
And stick around for Sam's final 8. Should be really interesting there later on in the show. Croft, is the window still open for the Hawks? Is the door ajar for another club?
I still think so, yeah, I really do. I think they're just a wonderful team and they do play extremely well as a team. So I think so. I think O'Meara coming in is so beneficial and lots of run and carry, and also Mitchell as well. But it's awesome to have the Essendon players back. I really mean that. I'm looking forward to seeing them out there. And I hope they play really well, and they can definitely win the match. That should be a good one.
You're tipping the Hawks, Mick's tipping the Bombers, Luke's tipping the Hawks. That's obvious. Sam, who are you tipping?
Master stroke by Earl Clarkson to rest Luke for this particular game. Have him come back fresh. I don't think Essendon will probably get off the mark with a win over the Hawks. A very stern examination to start with. But I think we can do well this year. I think the Bombers can do well, but I don't think they'll probably take the points against Hawthorn, unfortunately.
Becca?
I disagree. I think there is that much hype and that much enthusiasm amongst the Essendon Football Club. I reckon they're going to win this one. Hockey, just quickly, how good is O'Meara?
I think he's got the potential. Obviously, we saw what he did in his first 2 years before he got injured. But for the training that he's done so far throughout the pre-season, I didn't think he'd get the stages that he is at the moment. I thought it would take a lot longer. But I think everyone has seen his ability throughout his first few years. So if we can get 8 to 10 years of him doing what he's done over the training track, we're going to be pretty impressed. And the other one, as Croft said, is Tom Mitchell. He's come in, has not put a foot wrong. He's been outstanding since he's walked in the door as well.
Okay, let's get to Etihad. Saturday twilight match. It is St Kilda taking on the Melbourne Football Club. And the reason I think this one is of particular interest is I think there's only one spot in the 8 for one of these teams. Two won't make it.
8-point game, Becca.
One probably will. The major story, though, is obviously Nathan Jones being informed he is now a co-captain with Jack Viney. Jones on the record saying he was pretty flat about that decision, being made a co-captain, obviously being a solo captain last year. Hodgie, you've been in that sort of captain tussle situation. Do you think with Jones being made a co-captain, it's going to destabilise the club at all?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think, yeah, if it's a bit of a shock initially, you might get a little bit. Once you get the news straight up, you might be a bit shocked. But I think with Viney coming in, he's a very mature young player. With Jordan Lewis also coming in, I think it's going to spread the workload because they did have a lot of younger guys where, with a few of the extra guys, a few responsibility getting spread along, it's going to help them throughout the year.
It's fascinating to hear Bob Murphy say that he was entitled to be involved in that process. Simon Goodwin's told Caroline Wilson that it was a captain's pick, that the coach made the call. And Nathan, on the couch on Monday night, conceded that he was disappointed to get that news the way he did. You both captained Hawthorn. You a little bit more successfully, respectfully, Shane, than Luke, 3 flags. But you're both in that situation. Were you entitled to be part of the conversation, or is Simon Goodwin entitled to come in and go, this is what we're doing?
It all depends on the club and how the club goes. Sometimes the coaches make the decision and it's for the players to deal with it. And with other clubs, I know with our club, Clarko is very open with his players and we'll have the conversation. So when I took over from Sam, it was Clarko and Sam who made the call. And when Ruffy's taken it, it was Clark and myself who made the decision to step down. So every club is different.
So you don't like the way it was handled, Shane?
I think you got to allow the players to have some kind of involvement, really, because you're running out behind your leader every week, and you want to get out there and not only play for him but play for the team. So I think the players definitely need to be involved in those decisions.
Tips?
Tip?
I really don't know who to tip. I think it's going to be a ripper. I think two sides who I'm really looking forward to watching them develop this year. I think they're going to cause a lot of headaches for a lot of sides. I just think pre-season wise, Melbourne have just been a touch ahead of St Kilda, so I'm going to go with
Pearls, your tip?
I'm probably going to disagree with Hawk. I think that the last few years that St Kilda have had the wood over Melbourne. Get big buckets Carlisle as well back in this week as well, so wishing him all the best. I'm going to go with the Saints.
Hodgie?
I'm going to have to disagree with Hurls, and I'll stick with Croft. I think I have to back Jordan Lewis going across there. I think Melbourne have had a very impressive pre-season, and I reckon they'll just get over the line, but very good game.
What do you think, Sam? Jordan Lewis? You reckon that's going to help the D's?
Who?
Jordan Lewis. He used to play with Hawthorn now.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. Extremely overrated decision, Captain. You don't have to be the captain of a side to be its leader. It's just a title, that's all. Absolutely got nothing to do with it.
Hodgie's looking at you going, well...
Well, it hasn't. Mate, it hasn't.
He follows a lot of footy these
Whether you're a
days,
captain or not, you're a leader. And what you do is maybe do some questions from the media and toss the coin, that's about it. Other than that, you play your heart out like everyone
Sam,
does.
sorry, I think the captain there's a little bit more involved.
All right, tell me what a captain does when the game starts.
We'll ask Hodgie. Well, he leads on the field. Yes, there are others, but he leads on the field.
You made the statement. When the game starts, what does a captain do?
Well, if everything's going to you-know-what, he's the one that has to pick up the pieces because the coach can't be out there doing it. It falls on the captain's shoulders. So you're telling me that when everything falls to pieces, the captain marshals the troops? Absolute nonsense. I absolutely do.
That is absolute rubbish.
It doesn't matter what I say, he's got his head.
Yeah, I know. I feel your pain.
I'll bow to you.
I agree that a leadership group is more spread now, so there's more responsibility spread amongst the 6 or 7 guys in the leadership group, but there's a lot of stuff that the captain does behind the scenes that a lot of players don't see and a lot of people external from the footy club don't see.
You played 300 games, Sam.
Yes.
How many times did Geelong bestow you the captaincy?
I was the captain of the club.
For how long?
Well, I was a captain for 2 years until I tried to get a clearance to Richmond, and I got...
That's captaincy.
No, but
You're the captain of the footy show.
the captains when I played for 18 years.
What years were they? What years were they?
63 through to 80.
Footy's changed a little bit since then.
18 or 19, 63.
Mate, but Luke, that captaincy doesn't mean captaincy on a game day. The captain does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
Well,
I think we'll agree to
on
disagree,
game day.
Sam. I think we'll agree to disagree. Can we get a tip from you? Have we had a tip from you? I wasn't listening.
No, you're right.
No, don't worry about the tip. Do you want my tip? Yes, the Saints. The Saints for me. Now, stand by, everyone. Don't move a muscle, because Billy Brownless has found the great Tony Lockett, and his enthralling interview will be coming up very, very shortly. But another enthralling interview is coming up right now. This is Sam Newman v Mike Sheehan in Open Mouth.
Over the years, he hasn't just had the best-known face on Australian television. He's had 10 of them. That's Botox for you. He and I used to work together at the same newspaper, and we never really clicked. See, I was a Pisces, and he was a dickhead. John Sammy Newman, welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
You've been called a Neanderthal, John, haven't you?
I have, amongst a lot of other things.
I mean, we all sprung from apes. Do you ever think you didn't spring far enough?
No, I've never thought about it.
Now, you lost a kidney in 1967. Was it the same time you lost your humility as well?
Well, I didn't lose it. I had it ruptured. I knew where it was, but they found it and took it out.
Your humility, it's gone.
Yeah.
Something I want to correct is the notion that a lot of people out there really hate you. The reality is they're not all out there.
What, they're in here as well?
Yeah. My son Tony, have you never heard the adage, never email or leave a message when you're angry? Or senile?
How did I know you'd ask me about your son, Mike?
When I heard you'd been offensive to him on the phone, I thought, thank God you'd only called him the C word. I thought for a moment you may have sung to him.
Love me a lady tonight.
I'll never forget the moment you told me you'd never had a singing lesson. Remember my reply? Oh, duh. Now, it's ironic, isn't it, John? You're scared of fruit, but you love getting the plums out. Another irony, as the years go on, your career is hanging by a thread, and so are your nuts, true?
They're there, but they're useless.
Steve Price once called you the loneliest man he'd ever met. Now, a little birdie told me recently that you sent a photo off to a Lonely Hearts website, and they replied and said no one was that f***ing lonely. It's true, isn't it? John, all the best.
To ground. Lockett is there. The big man has it. This is for number 8. Oh, yes! Lockett from behind. Lockett again. That's a beauty. Lockett! 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 Oh, terrific mark. Caught into the pocket. Lockett gathers it. Beautiful. Round onto the left foot. And it goes long with a lovely kick. What a goal! Lockett goes early and takes a magnificent mark. He's got the football. Look at this. Crash, crash, bang, wallop. And it's through for another Lockett goal. 10.
Lockett, 5 points the difference. You know what that says? Lockett has the last word.
Lockett and Silvani. Lockett twice, yes. Lockett, the most important kick of his career. Played Lockett. Played Tony. Left foot goal. Sensational. He's got it. A remarkable play. It's going to go. He will be remembered for life.
Welcome back to the Footy Show, ladies and gentlemen, and it's wonderful that the Swans have welcomed back one of the biggest and most popular players in VFL, AFL history. The 26th man inducted into the Australian Football Hall of Fame as a legend, 1,360 goals, stands above all else who ever played the game. St Kilda and Sydney, team of the century member, 1987 Brownlow medalist, 5-time All-Australian, 4-time Coleman medalist, 4-time 100-goal scorer, and 22 times he kicked 10 or more goals in a game of football. He is an icon of our game, as Danny Frawley once famously said, and tonight he joins us live and exclusively in his hometown Barrel. Tony Lockett with Phil Downs.
G'day, Plugger. Welcome, mate, to the Footy Show. Well, just watching that play on there, you hate watching yourself, don't you? You couldn't watch yourself take those marks and kick goals.
Oh, well, no, it's been a while since I've seen any of that footage, mate, and it'll be a while before I see it again, I think, so...
That is unbelievable. Very unassuming man here. Now, tell us about the weight loss. Everyone's been talking about the weight loss. How much weight have you lost, and how did you do it? And listen up, Hutchie.
Well, I was about 124 kilos, I reckon, when I decided enough's enough. So I jumped on the scales. I was 124, 125. Yep. I thought that's enough incentive to get something done here. And anyway, it's taken me about 9 months, but I reckon I'm about 97, 98 now.
And how? How have you lost it all?
There's no eating, mate, basically. There's only one way to lose weight, and it's not eat. So,
What about frothies? You allowed to have a frothy?
I've been off the frothies too, so that's been a bit hard. I've tried most diets, as you can expect, over the years, playing footy, and since, the best diet was the unlimited diet. That's the one I like the most. That's the one I thrived on. But... you know, it's got me nowhere. The results showed that it wasn't any good. So anyway, something had to be done, and that's what we've done. So
now, just on that, you're not crook. You're okay, aren't you?
Good, because mate, as bad as I'm going, all I've got is a bout of gout.
Right, that's it.
Gout, that's it.
Right, good, because there was a lot of people worried about you. How skinny you're looking.
No, all good.
And what have you been doing since you finished up at Sydney? Because a lot of us, Plugger, think that you've gone up here in Barrel, you're in a cave somewhere, and you hibernate. We don't see you, we don't know what you're doing. What have you been doing?
Well, mate, I come here in 2000. I had 2 kids. Yep. That soon turned into 4. And since then, we've had pony club. I've been dance lessons and dance classes and everything like that.
Well, you've been to them.
No, I've been there, and I've had a look. So I've done all that. And I wondered why I was doing that, but anyway, I've done it. The horses were interesting. I know nothing about horses at all. So pony club of a Sunday morning, that was good. Anyway, the horses didn't last long.
Greyhounds?
Greyhounds, had the greyhounds. So we've been busy with them for, well, since I basically moved to Barrow, we've been busy with them. Running the farm, riding bikes, just doing all the normal stuff.
What about this? You walking down the main street of Barrel the other day, and look what Plugger caught. You caught a bloody kangaroo in the main street. What's going on there?
I was actually at one of the cafes having a feed when that happened, and I seen this kangaroo jumping over in the arcade there, and I said, "Well, what's this? What are you putting in this food?" Like, there's a kangaroo in the main street of Barrel here. Anyway, I thought I better go and see what I can do. He was either going to hurt himself or he was going to jump into someone. I thought he might have jumped into an old lady or an old bloke or something. So anyway, I grabbed him by the tail, and then I reckon I had him for about 20 minutes before someone come and relieved me. But anyway, the kangaroo ended up all right, so he was lucky.
Well done, Plugger. Now I'll throw you back to the studio here. You got all the boys and Beck
Thanks,
back
Bill.
there.
No worries.
Thanks, Bill. And Tony, welcome back to football, first of all, and great to have you on the Footy Show. It's a great honour for everybody. Why now back
My pleasure, mate.
Why back into football circles now? The popular perception of you is as a recluse. You've liked your private time for more than a decade. You're back now at the Swans and back with a public face. It's fantastic for the game. What prompted this rethink of your situation with football?
Yeah, I don't know whether there's been a rethink. I mean, irrespective of what people have been thinking, I mean, I've always, retained a great interest for the game and for the clubs and for footy in general. But I think, when I finished, I had a couple of years in the media, and I just realised it wasn't me. I needed something different. I needed to do something else. And with the kids on board, then, it was just time to spend, with them. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been great. I know I said before about the dancing and the netball and everything like that, but I get a kick out of it because when your kids are doing things like that, you've got to support them, and it's been great. Three of them are now got their licence and sort of half moved on a bit, so I have got a bit more free time.
But you've shunned the limelight.
But just when I look at it... Yeah, you're right.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. You have shunned the limelight, though.
You're right.
Did you miss the game?
Oh, look, I don't say miss it. I mean, like, you only got to turn the tally on and you got 24/7 football as much as you want. So, I mean, football was only an arm's length away. It was never that far away. But no, I just needed time to... I didn't need time, but I just... there was other things to do, and I got interested in the motorbikes, and I'd done the dog thing and everything like that. Well, I don't know, I think I'm just ready to get back in and put a bit back into the game, and I'm looking forward to it because I think it's a part of our game that at this stage I think a lot of clubs are struggling a bit with their conversion rates and everything like that, and I'm hoping I can make a little bit of a difference up in the Swannies there now. So, look, I'm enjoying it. I've only been up there a couple of times. I've already, been working with 6 or 8 of them already, and so I go up every week and have a bit of fun with it all. It's pretty low key, but mate, I enjoy it. It's been good.
Tony, there's little doubt that you will make a huge difference at the Swans, but how did the appointment actually come about? Was it a phone call out of the blue, or have the Swans been chasing you for a few years?
Oh, look, no, I don't think no one's been chasing anyone. But look, I spoke to a mate of mine, Phil Mullen, and I said to him that I thought there was a chance for someone because for the footy I was watching, there was, the conversion rates were down, and I just kept watching these blokes missing easy goals from 35 metres out in front, and goals that should have been getting kicked. So I remember saying to me, mate, I think there's an opportunity here. Somewhere like we should be going around and trying to help out here, and with that, I think Andrew Pridham got wind of it and thought, well, if you're going to help someone, you better come back and join, get back here with the Swans and help out here. And mate, I just said, yeah, no worries at all. Let's do it.
Tony, what are you going to do with the big Budster? How are you going to improve his kicking?
I don't know what I can do there, mate. How do you improve Buddy Franklin? You can't, mate. If anything, he'd probably show me a thing or two, I think. So, look, I look forward to it. Look, Buddy's he's a superstar of the game, one of the biggest names ever, and I just look forward to the year of working close with him and just hopefully we can get another 100 on the board for him, and it'll be great for him and the club.
Now, Tony, I don't know if you got a monitor there, but I interviewed you in 1989 down at Moorabbin for the Herald Sun, or the Sun in those days. And amongst other things, you told me that you never studied anyone that you played on, and you reckoned if you'd put your mind to it, you would have been a lot better player. And I say that with great respect, because I don't know how much better you could be. Did you... is that your strategy when you take over goal-kicking practice up on techniques up at Sydney? Just let them worry about the forwards. Don't you worry about too many people who play on you.
Well, mate, I think forwards should have that attitude anyway. I mean, they're the ones that the playmakers, and they're the ones that have got to dictate the terms. I believe so. My theory to these, the boys that I'm helping out is that just you got to just go out there and you got to make it happen, mate. No one's going to make it happen for you. You got to do it yourself. As far as the goal kicking goes, keep it very simple. I think too much is going on inside some of their heads, and I'm not just talking about Sydney there. I'm just talking about it as a whole, the whole goal kicking saga thing, and I think it's they're making it look harder than what it should be. I think we've just got to get back to the basics and just try and be automatic and just make it happen nice and easy without it being too much hard work.
Plug, I love watching you as a kid. What do you think your greatest achievement is? Football achievement.
Are you talking football-wise or like with...
Yeah, football achievement. Yeah.
Is that... I just, when I look back at it, mate, I'm just thankful to both clubs just for being involved, to be involved with St Kilda and be involved with Sydney. It's been a great honour. The grand final was fantastic, even though we lost. But just to be there, to play in the 96 grand final was that's what we all play for, so I'd have to say that the 96 grand final has been the biggest thrill.
Was the Brownlow a thrill, Tony? I don't think you...
Great thrill.
I don't think actually went to the presentation, did you? Or
Of course he did. He was nervous. Have a look at this, Sam.
Oh,
fingers crossed. He looks like he's there.
I was a bit nervous by the look of it, yeah. I was there.
Hey, Tony, is it true that you won the medal with Johnny Platten? Not many full forwards win the Brownlow medal. But is it true you have not seen Johnny Platten since that day?
I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have.
So there you go.
I don't think I have, no.
Yeah, that probably speaks a bit to both of your general publicity shyness, I guess, because you did look magnificent there on the stage together. You're two greats of our game, and I'm sure you'll run into each other at some point again.
I hope so, mate, because he's a great player, you know, and yeah, it was from what I can remember, it was a great night too.
Tony, when you were playing, you were very much in demand.
And week and month.
Absolutely. Now, when you were playing, you were very much in demand. A lot of companies wanted you on board. You did a lot of commercials. We're going to have a look at a few here. I was lucky enough to film a Puma commercial with you, which you dominated.
You weren't in the same commercial.
This one's the Hungry Jacks.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Any other way just doesn't taste the same. Barbecue it. Only Jack's does it for me.
Beautiful.
My mate Greg had his hair replaced strand by strand. I'm regrowing mine.
Yeah.
And flavour therapy. If Tony Lockett says it works, he means it.
Hey, yeah. I love it.
How's it go, Tony?
Yeah.
That's made my night.
Now, Tony, all the football writers and scribes were asked to pick their top 25 players in the last 50 years. You appeared in every one of their picks in the top 25. Who were the 5, off the top of your head, 5 best players that you saw or played against?
Ooh, that's a hard one straight off the bat, Sam. Paul Kelly, Robert Harvey, Stephen Silvani.
Yep.
Bruce Dool. I'm going to leave a lot of players out here that...
Yeah, that'll do, mate. Yeah.
And me.
Look, it's hard. That Sam, it's a hard question. You know what I mean? But there's been so many great players. It's hard to come up with 5 just off the top of my bat like that, mate.
Remember the 1991 elimination final, plug us, Geelong and St Kilda out at Waverley?
I do.
You kicked 9? And?
9, yep. You got 6, did you?
8, plugger. And the Mighty Cats won.
There was 2 handballs over the top into the goal square. They don't count them ones. No.
Hey, a couple of myths going around about you. When you played, did you used to watch the scoreboard to see how many goals Hawthorn and how many goals Jason Dunstall kicked? Because you and him were very close on the goal kicking.
No. I used to... I'd find out pretty quickly after the game how many Dunstall had kicked.
Right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
When you were driving up from from Ballarat to St Kilda for training one day, you went over the West Gate, you saw Luna Park, you and Spud and Greg Burns. You thought, oh, geez, those rides look all right. So you went in, you got on the rides, and you had a great day. You missed training, got a photograph in the Herald Sun the next day, front page, and you told St Kilda that you couldn't train and you trained in Ballarat. Is that true?
Oh, I'm not sure about that one. I don't think we missed training.
You sure?
I don't think we missed training. We might have been late.
Can you currently do 20 one-arm push-ups?
No, I can't. No, that was 20 one-arm chin-ups.
All right, let me
ask. Is that the Neil Cordy article a week ago?
Yeah, that's it.
Quoted as doing 20 one-arm chin-ups.
Chin-ups.
Not a Hobie Nell.
No? All right. What about when you were playing for the Saints? We're going well here. None of them are right. When you're playing for the Saints and you got that goal and you ran into the goals and how many Swans cheer squad members did you try and kill?
Every one of them. Every one of them. Especially that old grey-haired fellow. Kenny, here it comes. Look out, Kenny, look out. And thank God it never hit him.
Oh, mate.
Hey, Bill.
Fantastic. So what are you going to do now? A bit more with Sydney, obviously, this year.
Yep.
Dirt bikes?
Dirt bikes, yeah. Yeah, ready to head out to Fink. That's why I thought I started losing the weight. I had to get back out on the bike and get out to Fink. June long weekend, I'll be out there, hopefully get a run. I'm only on the waiting list at the moment, Billy, so hopefully there'll be a few late scratchings. I'll get a run out there in June and head down through the sand dunes and down to Fink and then back the next day. So,
hey, sorry to interrupt, Bill. Plugger, there's something weirdly ironical about the fact that Buddy Franklin looks the only person who's capable ever again of breaking your record, given the tenure of the game and the way the game's changed, and you are best placed to help him do that. Would you like to see him break your record? Is that something that would mean a lot to you?
Absolutely, not a problem at all. Oh, mate, nothing would give me a greater thrill than to see that happen. And that's, mate, that's honest. Yep, no worries at all.
That's absolutely fantastic, I reckon.
Sam, you've been sitting back watching this.
You've been fantastic, mate.
Watching this interview.
We might go for a couple of frothies here in Barrel.
We might have to have a frothy or two, I think so.
Now, Tony, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, except it wasn't an elephant, it was a smaller farmyard animal this particular day on the SCG. It ticked you off, it probably ticks you off us talking about it. How did that happen and what did you think about it?
The problem is it's a bit skinny, that pig. He's only a little pig. He'd have been no good on the spinner on the rotisserie.
No good on the spin there.
He'd no good eat that fella. He'd be too chewy, he would.
Did you seek out...
Who's going to win the grand final this year?
What's that?
Did you seek out the...
You go, Sam.
Mate, Tony, did you seek out the people who were responsible for the pig and give them a piece of your mind? No.
I've never been able to confirm who was the farmer that supplied and sold or give or whatever they done to the person that released the pig out onto the SCG.
Yeah, and God help them if you found out.
Yeah, no one's put their hand up, Sam.
No, it was Sam Newman, Plugger, don't worry about that. So next time you see him, you can belt the crap out of him. You've been fantastic tonight. Great to have you on the Footy Show, Plugger. Good on you.
So great to see Tony Lockett, Mr. Tony Lockett, I should say, in great spirits there, and I'm sure he'll be doing some wonderful things at the Sydney Swans. Well done to Bill as well. He was under plenty of pressure there to deliver a Walkley award-winning interview. Not quite sure if he did that, but anyway. Hey, let's go from the... Yeah, well done, Bill. Clapping himself. Let's go from the sublime to the ridiculous. We're a little bit over time tonight, so we can't show you part 2 of our sensational Bonding in the Bush segment, but we've got a little teaser. We're going to show it next week. Here's what to come next week. Bonding in the Bush with the crew. Have a look.
Looking for the real thing, not the Masonite cutout. Because you guys are the new recruits for Tassie Tiger hunting. Yes! Tassie Tiger territory.
We're going tiger hunting.
What are we looking for? They wouldn't be here, would they?
There's something out there.
There is not.
Serious.
Shit, we caught you.
Channel 9, your home of football. It's back, the mighty all-conquering Sunday Footy Show. Great to see TJ back in the chair. Good luck, TJ. You'll kill it. Billy, Lauder, Nathan, and introducing the new star, Kane Corns. All the weekend's action. Bob Murphy. What an exclusive that is to get rolling with. And a stack of guests, 10:30 Sunday. And then Class with Gary Lyon back at the helm. Magnificent. 9:40 Monday night. Matthew Lloyd again. Caroline Wilson. Newfound focus on the Arrow too on Monday night. Looking forward to that again. And Footy Classified Sunday Footy Show. Whole lot more right here on 9.
And just a reminder, next week we're on Wednesday as well, 8:30. And how about this for a magnificent lineup? We have Nick Revolt, Joel Selwood. We have our Bonding in the Bush Part 2 segment. And straight from the jungle, Dane Swan is sitting down one-on-one with Mike Sheen in our open mouth segment. It will be very entertaining. Swanee, good to see him.
All right, let's get into the news. Jordan De Goey's had a dramatic 24 hours and it continues tonight. Damien Barrett, 17-time AFMA winner. Welcome to you, mate.
Thank you, Archie. And the news for Jordan De Goey does go from bad to worse following those lies earlier in the week. The Collingwood Footy Club has actually hit him up with a whole raft of previously undisclosed sanctions and requirements. And now, amongst these previously undisclosed issues, he now has to deal with include an alcohol ban for a long part of 2017 season, quite possibly right to the very end of it. There's also a requirement for him to be at the footy club for a very long period of time on certain days. He is going to be effectively, on some days, required to be the first player to arrive and the last player to leave. That takes in the VFL component of the Collingwood Magpies. They're going to be 14-hour days on occasions under that particular part of these sanctions. And the community service requirements, which were listed yesterday, it's going to require him to give at least 100 hours or up to 100 hours of his time on that. And of course, these come on top of the $5,000 fine and also the 3-match AFL ban, which can only begin the moment his hand is fully healed.
That's the absolute full letter of the law for a player. I'm interested to see what the PA have to say about that, but he'll have to do his time, Jordan, to go. Damien Barrett, everyone, thanks for joining us again, Damo, as always.
Safe to say that Nathan Buckley is pretty peeved, I would say.
I think Collingwood mean business, Shane Crawford. So too to Fremantle as they try and get their footy club back on track.
We're taking on the Mighty Cats, Fremantle. We don't have teams, but we do have a mouth-watering clash. Will Fife take on Dangerfield? That is going to be awesome if that can certainly happen. It's going to be a wonderful game.
Would you do it, Shane, if you're the coaches?
Oh, probably not round one. You'd probably try and win round one before you allow players to go and play on each other. But
it's happened before.
I understand, Hodgie, that Fife's going really well at the moment, and obviously Dangerfield's an absolute superstar. So what would you do?
I'll let him go head-to-head. Two of the best going round. Both have had really good pre-seasons, and Fife, let's hope he gets back to his form of 2015.
What do you think about this, Hurls? Fremantle, Geelong? Which way are you leaning?
Yeah, I saw the Cats firsthand a couple of weeks ago and they were super impressive, so I think the Cats will be too strong.
I'm thinking the Cats will win, yeah. The Cats will win.
I think it's going to be a close one. It was, I think Geelong beat him by 15 or 17 points last year, and Fremantle have got about 10 different blokes in, so I reckon Freo might push them. It's still Geelong.
Sam Newman?
Yeah, I think Fremantle will beat Geelong over wherever it's played, Domain Stadium. I do.
Yeah, it's a tough trip over there to Domain, but I'm going with my Cats.
Of course you are, Vic.
Of course I'm going with the Cats. You know that. That was a bit of a waste coming to me. It's not a waste coming to you for this next segment because it is Sam's mailbag.
Now, just firstly, apologies to Tony Lockett for me saying he didn't turn up to the Brownlow. I interviewed him. I'm trying to find out why I asked him that question because he told me that in the interview, and we're just going to check why he said that.
He didn't turn up to a lot of things, but he did turn up to the Brownlow, so it's all right.
The vision of him crossing his fingers nervously at the table
and of course,
didn't help.
Red bow tie.
Putting the medal on too.
Bit of preparation for the biggest interview we've ever done. That's your first question.
And of course, he wouldn't have won the Brownlow when I interviewed him, so I'm not sure why I asked him that question.
Yes, he had.
Had he?
Yes.
In 1989?
Yeah, he'd won it by then.
Well, there you go. There's another mistake I made.
We're on a roll.
Now, firstly, to our friend who doesn't watch this show, he says it's beneath him, but we think he's great, Bruce McAvaney, who has a little illness problem.
Absolutely.
Indicated that he had leukemia, a strain of it, if there's a strain of leukemia. So, Bruce, we wish you all the best. You're a star and you're a legend.
And one of the kindest men in TV.
And one of the kindest and most knowledgeable and gifted men in TV. And we also wish Brian Taylor, who's got the real plum job of calling football the main game next to Bruce, so we wish Brian well as well.
Wowee.
Right, now. Wowee.
Boy, oh boy.
We'll be watching Channel 9, though, instead on Friday night. Yeah?
Yes.
Well, did I mention they were on 7?
No, you didn't.
Married at first sight?
No, then, yeah, we'll be watching Channel 9. We didn't
Let
mention they were
Let's
on
move
7.
on.
Toby of Warrnambool.
Good on you!
Newman, I dare you to read this out. Here we go. I'm reading it out. You are filth. What a reprehensible story about you on the weekend. How dare you be so blatant as to admit that you smoke marijuana every day. You are a disgrace. Toby, you cocksmack.
Hey, easy.
It wasn't me, man. It was Patrick Stewart who said it.
It's a good lookalike, though.
Yeah. Well,
It's a good
as if
lookalike.
I'd be smoking marijuana. God almighty. Only down to 3 bongs a day. Why would I be doing that? From Francine of Newport. Sam, I know you aren't into fads, but there is one that may benefit you. What, you got a colostomy bag franchise, have you? I nurse a lot. I nurse a lot of pensioners, so I'm familiar with your stage in life. Many are... I'll tell you what, Francine, you get me around there, darling, I'll show you how ill I am. Many are ill-tempered and lost. I encourage them to write a letter to their teenage self. that is true. If you're
That's very popular these days.
Writing a letter to your teenage self, that is what absolute dribble. Anyhow, this is what I've penned this up about myself.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Well, this is
This will be fascinating.
A letter to me.
Oh no.
Dear John, this is me writing.
At 13. Yep.
Yeah. Don't try and be superior to others. You already are. You are at the grammar. As you grow up, you will learn sleeping alone is a waste of your sexual talent and that exercise is the poor man's plastic surgery. You will meet a lot of wonderful, talented people on your journey and a bloke named Hutchie. A few tips about Craig. He gets bored easily. This is Craig getting bored with Jared Roughhead. There he is. Grumpy old prick. He is loyal. He will replace a friend of yours, James Brayshaw, but still swim with him every morning. There he is. That's
Look at Jim Bob.
Put that up again if we could. That's Jim Bob. That's Jim Bob on the left. And Craig, you'd had a big summer, hadn't you, it'd be fair to say. And he gets sunburned easily. There he is. Just got the 8-day covered up there with a sock. So, John, look after yourself. You're a grand specimen. Love, Sam. That's me. All right, so here we go. And from Trish of Kensington, Foss. Did you see where the AFL moved the women's grand final away from the Gabba because it was in poor condition after a pop concert? Would that have happened in your day? God almighty. The grounds were so bad nowadays. After we played in a very wet winter down at Cardinia Park, they sowed rice in the ground after we played there. Today's players are spoilt. They are. I played on glue pots or concrete. I played on muddy. I got knocked out. That's it there. We used to play and stuff like that when the cricket pitches were there. I got knocked out at Carlton by a bloke called Murray Sankey who king hit me from behind and broke my jaw. And the things that go through your mind when he's semi-stupid, this is correct. I remember when he knocked me out, I fell absolutely into the mid. I thought to myself how neatly I fit in the circle. No chalk on my hair, none on my shoes. And I took 3 men to lift us out of the glue pot there. Anyway, because of the condition of the Gabba, the Lions have rewritten their new club song, and this is it.
Really contributing to Sam's mailbag, GBA Box 9 Melbourne, Victoria 3001 on 9now.com.au/AFL Footy Show. Luke, good luck in your return via Tullamarine on the weekend in the VFL. It's very noble to play in the VFL. Michael Hurley, welcome back to Football Mick. We're all excited for you. Thanks for joining us on the panel. Luke Hodge and Michael Hurley. After the break, we make history here on the Footy Show. It is the most significant weekend for women in football. The AFLW Grand Final will be magnificent between Brisbane and the Adelaide Crows. And after the break, Darcy Vescio and Katie Brennan join us as panellists here on the Footy Show.
Home Timber and Hardware, go where the tradies go. Chemist Warehouse, the home of real brands and real savings. Telstra, stream it live, fast and data-free. And Sportsbet, download the mobile app today.
That's right. We thank all of our partners on the Footy Show. And speaking of our partners, Sportsbet's Nathan Brown and the Sunday Footy Show's National One. Nathan Brown joined us. Footy Show alumni, of course. Welcome, Nash. A big round of football.
Yeah, it certainly is exciting. Sunday Footy Show back Sunday, but Carlton and Richmond kick off the first week, and Carlton are the best back to win the wooden spoon this year. Would you believe that? Richmond double the money so far on the Blues. So all the money so far has been on the Tigers. The last 4 times they've beaten Carlton, it's been between 1 and 39. So that's where the money has come. And then the other big game is the Hawthorn versus Essendon game. Now, the Hawks have had double the money. There's been a whisper around that maybe the Bombers might upset the Hawks, but double the money on the Bombers, and this is the same game multi. This is the best thing since you started going to nightclubs, Hutchie. This is the same game multi. Joe Watson, 30 disposals. Jared Ruffhead, the 2 comeback kings, $12. I think that can happen. 30 disposals, 3 goals for Ruff, $12. And the mega bet in honour of the great man, Tony Lockett, that was just on here. 16 straight he kicked one day. Buddy to kick no points, $9. What a price that is. If he kicks 0 goals, 0, you still get the money. So Buddy to kick no points on the weekend, just goals or 0 goals, 0. Plug a kick 16 in a row, but make sure you gamble responsibly.
Okay, Nathan Brown from Sportsbet, thank you. Now, this is a very special and exciting moment in the history of the Footy Show. We have never done this before. We are making history tonight, and on the eve of the Women's AFLW Grand Final, we have 2 superstars of the competition joining us on the panel tonight. Please, ladies and gentlemen, the warmest Footy Show welcome for a superstar of the Western Bulldogs, Katie Brennan. Also joining her from the Carlton Footy Club is a true blue superstar, Darcy Vecchio. Hey. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, ladies, on the Footy Show. And I can firstly say this is a very good-looking panel, and that's the first time
Rebecca.
It's the first time I actually mean that. Girls, I know that that you're disappointed that you aren't playing on the weekend, didn't make it into the grand final, but it has been such a sensational season for your clubs, but the competition as a whole. Katie, did it exceed your expectations? Is this everything that you dreamed of?
Yeah, it certainly did. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience, and as you said, you know, the Western Bulldogs, we didn't do as well as we would have liked to, but I think in hindsight, you know, it's been, we've had the support from everyone out there, the football community and the wider community. We've really grown as a team and as a club, and I think we've really changed the landscape going forward, and it's been so fantastic to be a part of.
Darcy, you made a name for yourself in the very first couple of minutes of your first game. Have a look at some of Darcy's highlights. He kicked 4 goals in this game, and they were all absolutely sensational. What was that feeling like running out there for the first game?
Oh, it was like nothing I could have ever imagined. I think the whole night just exceeded everything we ever thought it could be, and it was just amazing.
And you've had a magnificent season, Darcy. You've carried this footy club sensational. You won the equivalent of the AFLW Coleman Medal, and we'd love to see that grow in time because it's a fantastic achievement to kick the most goals in the competition. Absolutely sensational. Just like most of the community have loved the AFLW. It's just been such contested footy, such wonderful athletes, and the nature of the games have been sensational. I think they've captivated the community. Has it felt that way playing to both of you? Has it been like exceeded your expectations significantly? I know you only had the chance to play 2 games of injury. It would have been even harder to miss out on the excitement.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think you know, there's positives in every situation, and although I wasn't out there, I really got to sit back and experience, you know, what AFL Women's was from afar, and really watch on. I would love to been out there with my teammates, but yeah, I think I really got to see how much these girls were impacting, and the fun that they were having, and that impact that it has had on the community as well.
Darcy, not only do you play for the Blues, you actually work at the Blues as well. So you're the graphic artist, is that right?
Yep, I'm part of the graphic design team.
Okay, and that means that you can put yourself on the membership package, I gather. You have every right to do that. You just picked the best picture out of yourself and put yourself on the package?
Yeah, guilty. Look, I'll put my hand up for that one. Yeah, at the start, working there was a bit funny having to edit my own photos, but now, you know, I'll have the double screens up, 4 pictures of myself up on the screen, and no one bats an eyelid, so it's, yes.
Shane's got away with it for years, isn't it?
Since a very young age, you've always loved your football, so much so that you actually, when you used to go to bed, you used to take the football with you. Obviously barrack for, is it the Saints there?
Yeah.
You always barrack for the Saints?
Yeah, I did grow up supporting the Saints, but yeah, I'm slowly shifting.
Oh.
I'm shifting. Yeah, it's not easy, but yeah, the Blues have been fantastic, so yeah, I'm supporting
So
them.
as the popularity of the game has skyrocketed, I suppose, I know you don't play necessarily for the financial reward, but what is an increase in salary or payment predicated on crowds, sponsorship, the popularity of it? What are you hoping to get out of it as far as fiscal reward goes?
Well, I think this year's been such a breakthrough year for women's footy, and I think that'll definitely grow, and the recognition we get is going to grow with that. You know, at the moment, there was a lot of talk about the pay, and, you know, there's lots of ways you could talk about it, but I think the AFL's investing in at a grassroots level, so, you know, that's where the growth needs to come from. So
Most generally happy with the remuneration that you received, or was that a contentious point?
Yeah, look, I think it's pretty interesting because we've come from an environment where we've always paid to play. So even this year, going back to community footy, like I just put the deposit in the other day for $500 registration.
You have to pay your fees.
Yeah, we have to pay our fees. So to get any sort of payment is fantastic. Obviously, we want that to grow, and we think that it deserves to grow with the sort of response we've had.
Well, if you keep playing the quality of footy that you're playing, and the ratings, TV ratings keep continuing the way that they're doing, and the community gets behind you, you'll be the best paid people in town in no time. Keep at it, you're pioneers of the game, it's fantastic. Let's have a look at the game on the weekend between Brisbane and the Adelaide Crows. This is going to be a magnificent game of footy. Unfortunate that it's at Metricon, but Brisbane's still going with a home ground advantage. Look for the superstars up forward, McCarthy and Harris, who have taken the competition by storm. Unbeaten, that's the squad for the Brisbane Lions, and they go against the Adelaide Crows on the road, who have got some stars too. Erin Phillips, silver medalist in the Olympics, dominated. The story of Perkins has been magnificent, and they've had so many success stories in this touring Adelaide Crows team, Katie.
Yeah, they certainly have, and Phillips showed last weekend against Collingwood how good she is and how much she can stand up at the crucial times as a captain. So they're going to be really strong. Mixed in the mixes, Eb Marinoff, who's been a fantastic midfielder for them and is a nominee for the Rising Star. And we've also seen Tex Perkins kick a bag this year, and also she's got mitts. She can mark anything in her vicinity. So it's going to be a really great game, but I'm tipping Brisbane for this one.
What do you think, Darcy?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough contest. Both teams were, yeah, they were unreal to play against. We obviously had a hard time against both teams, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Adelaide on this one.
There you go. And it's great to see Abby Holmes playing for Adelaide. She, a few years ago, we gave her an opportunity in the EJ Whitten match. We really wanted her in the team. We flew her down from Darwin because we really believed in the females being a part of the game. And it's wonderful to see her being a part of the Adelaide team, getting a game and playing really well. And I'd like to think the footy show's had a small involvement.
Good on you. I was
really,
going to say, Croft, you're too humble to say this. You were driving this very hard at the time. You had played in a social game with Abby.
Well, she kicked 100 goals that year, and I just felt that we needed to give more attention to that because I thought it was remarkable. And she was up in Darwin, and not a lot of people knew about that story, and it's just great to see her living a dream, and she's really passionate about it, and it's wonderful to see.
Good against the odds story too, to get break away into the team in recent weeks. One of our partners, one of our major partners, Mario and his team at Chemist Warehouse, are a huge supporter of women's sport, particularly of the AFLW as the league's official chemist retail partner. This Saturday's AFLW Grand Final between Brisbane and Adelaide, Chemist Warehouse will be giving punters the chance to kick for cash and $10,000 cash at that, which will be absolutely magnificent. And some of the big brands of Australia getting on board, which is sensational for the code.
Am I blinding you here with what's on my finger. Have a look at this.
Look at the fire in that.
I know. This is actually what the winning team, the girls, will be receiving. So they get premiership rings. We'll probably put my hand up there and get a closer
Got a
shot.
diamond in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've got not just one diamond. They've got, 18 karat white gold,
turn around, Beck.
turn around, 8 diamonds in it, and it's got the beautiful W in the middle. Isn't that classy? And I'll tell you where this comes from. Oliver Musson has flown down from Sydney tonight from Musson Jewellers to actually give me one of these just to wear tonight. Thanks very much, Oliver.
All the players are beginning on the weekend.
All of the players and the coach as well. So 23 be made. Isn't that a lovely touch?
Be watching, of course, on Sunday, Sam. There you go. 1 o'clock, women's footy finale. Right here on 9. It's been a magnificent season. Tiff and Roz and the team from 1 o'clock, the 1 hour show, right after the Sunday footy show, and all the news on women's footy after the grand final.
I just want to ask them one more. Did you, as collectively, underestimate the scrutiny you'd be under from the match review tribunal? Because it was pretty physical, a lot of the games, and they carried no favour. They treated you like they did the AFL. They sorted you out and reprimanded you and suspended you.
Yeah, I think it was a positive thing that they set the standard from the start. Obviously, we're in there for the long run, and I think they had to really set that standard. And I think because we were excited, we were living out our dreams, and we're probably fitter and stronger than we've ever been, that the girls were taking it to a whole new level. But we saw it settle down a little bit. And, you know, girls having to still go in hard and play really good footy, but just make sure they were disciplined in doing so.
OK, Katie and Darcy are sticking around. We're going to take a short break here on The Footy Show. See you on the other side of this. History-making night. Let's take a look at Sunday's game. It's at Etihad Stadium and it's between the Kangaroos and the West Coast Eagles. Obviously, the big story coming out of this one ahead of this game is Sam Mitchell and Drew Petrie, 2 absolute champions, 2 veterans playing for a new club. Croft, you're great mates with Sam Mitchell. Everything I've seen, he seems to be fitting into the club well and really enjoying his time. Is that what you're hearing?
He absolutely loves the club. He's obviously come from a very good club and a very good culture, but he's been blown away by how wonderful the Eagles are going and the club. So I just think he's going to be so important, the way he sets up. He's a little bit like an architect, the way that he moves the ball and sets the play up. And there's every chance he'll win another Brownlow medal and help West Coast make top 4. I have no doubt about that. So for
Is that what West Coast needed, do you think?
Well, a lot of people don't realise. Well, they look at Subiaco and they think the ground's very big, so it's not really going to suit a player like Sam Mitchell. But he averages more possessions. I think it's 31 touches a game at that oval. So he becomes an even more dangerous player. So I think they're going to have a wonderful year, and I think West Coast will win.
What do you think, Das? Who wins this one?
Yeah, big game for Petrie. I think, I think West Coast will get up for him. Yeah.
Katie?
Yeah, I'm going to pick West Coast as well, and having won 7 of the past 9, I think that, they're in with a big chance, and North Melbourne obviously losing their big 4, so...
Sam?
If you're a West Coast Eagles supporter, just fasten your seatbelt, because if they took the Brownlow medal off Jobe Watson, they're about to take the premiership off the West Coast Eagles for the 2006.
No, I don't think that'll happen, Sam.
Don't you? Why not?
Why
happen. Wouldn't that be consistent?
The AFL are not going to make any inroads into that investigation.
Aren't they?
No.
Why wouldn't they be doing that?
Well, there's no evidence to suggest performance enhancing at all.
What's that?
It was recreational.
What did you say then?
There's no evidence of anything performance enhancing about that.
Like Essendon, no evidence at all.
Let's walk right in that one, right? Walk straight to it. Becca, who are you tipping?
So you're saying recreational drugs aren't
I am tipping...
Maybe for you they are.
West Coast over there.
Let's move on, and what a game this is going to be on Friday night at the Mighty G between Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs. Wow. The Dogs And the story here, dare I say, there's not a lot of glove loss between Travis Cloke and his former team, Collingwood.
Yes.
This will be a magnificent game of footy, and Travis has earned his spot in this team, and all eyes will be on him, Shane, on Friday night.
I think, I think he'll do very well. I'm looking forward to seeing the Bulldogs. By all reports, have been training really well, but so have Collingwood. Collingwood have structured up really well during the pre-season, and I think they're going to win a lot of games and bounce back from last year. So, in saying that, I think the Dogs will win in a really close game. Darcy?
Yeah, I can't bring myself to saying that. I'll go for Pies, so yeah, it'll be Dogs for me.
Definitely the Dogs, and I think what excites me the most is seeing Bob Murphy back out there as well, the great man. So looking forward to seeing him run around.
Absolutely, Sam.
Yeah.
Collingwood and the Dogs, Sam. Who are you tipping?
Oh, I don't know. Craig, I haven't got an opinion on it.
Okay, we'll just pass. Is that a pass for you?
Yeah, take
okay,
those.
that's a pass. I think the Doggies might have a bit of a premiership hangover. No, so I'm actually going to go with the Pies. I'm actually going to go with the Pies. Now, Adele, if you've been living under a rock, you don't know this, but Adele has been in town. In fact, she's been everywhere. But she's in Melbourne a couple of days ago, just left. But she has found time to actually pay tribute to Travis Cloke.
Velcro bugging me. The Bulldogs have gone and bought me, but they have kept the receipt. Mediocre was my kicking. They say time in the VFL will heal you, but I dropped every fucking thing. Velcro made of cowhide, or I missed the ball 1,000 times. But I'm sorry, but now Collingwood are scum. After the game, I'm clearly gonna walk back to a burnt out Commodore.
Welcome back to the Footy Show on this magnificent Wednesday night. I want to get straight to the game. The next game Sunday at Adelaide Oval. Croft.
Yeah, Adelaide taking on the mighty Giants. It's going to be a big year, Adelaide Oval. It's going to be a wonderful game. I think GWS, there's the side to beat this year, and I think they'll win. What do you think, Darcy?
Yep, I'm going to have to stick with that one. I think the Giants will win.
The mighty Giants?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a big one for Sam Jacobs, so I'm going to tip Adelaide.
I think Greater West Sydney are the side to beat this year, but Adelaide will win
Can you get
this
closer
game.
to your notes to read that?
He needs some spectacles. He needs some spectacles.
How close are you to those notes there?
Perfect
Seriously,
guys.
can you not read them from there?
No, I won't. He's even got big
I was
print.
just
GWS, I don't think they'll drop many
stuffing it.
games this season, and this certainly won't be one of them. So GWS for me.
The next game is across town. Port Adelaide travel to Sydney for the big one on Saturday, the tie-off game. Real unknown going into this season, Port Adelaide, and the story here is Ken Hinkley, who's had some pressure in the off-season. We heard David Koch last week, and Ken Hinkley will be hoping to get his team back on track for a finals assault in season 2017. The Swans in good form, Croft. Do they win?
Lock it back. Sydney wins.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Power.
I think the record 10 from 12 at the SCG, Sydney, definitely.
Well,
Fossil?
Sydney. Yeah, what?
Who are you going for?
I'm not sure about that one. I don't think I'm tipping on this one.
Are you
either.
having a pass?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
two
passing,
passes
yeah.
for you.
It's going to be a long year.
You should do some
I've lost
preparation.
interest.
This is going to be a long year. We might have to skip you every
Pass,
time.
have an
eh?
opinion.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'll tip. I'm going to go Sydney, of course. Sydney. Let's take a look at the Saturday night game at Metricon. Suns v Lions. And I'm pleased to report the great story out of this is look at that superstar on your screen. Gary Ablett, he played in the last practice match and he was absolutely brilliant, injury-free. He is going very well indeed. Great to see Gary Ablett back. Paul, Suns or Lions?
Suns for me. I think Brisbane a development year. Gus?
Yep, I'm going to have to go with the Suns. I think, Gary, you'll have a day out.
Likewise, Suns.
If I wasn't interested in the other ones, I'm not interested in this one.
It's another pass. Three
Yeah, it's a
passes for
pass,
you. The Lions played some good patches of footy. I think some promising signs for the Lions, but not this time, Suns, for me.
Yeah, good luck to Gary in his return to football on the weekend. Shane's excited about his top 8 unveil. He's got his own stand, which is a bit over-dramatic, I think, Shane. But over to you. Where have you got the finalists this year?
It's taken me a long time to build this, but we'll just get into it straight away, okay? So I think St Kilda at 8th. I think Magpies at 7th because I think they're going to structure up really well. The Demons are going to be in the top 8. The Hawks at 5th. Swans, the Dogs, the Eagles with Sammy Mitchell, and I think the Giants are not only going to finish on top, they are going to be clearly the ones to beat. I don't think anyone can beat them throughout this year. And we'll have a look at yours, Sam. Okay, so you've had a look at that.
Go on, you do it.
It's a very... here we go. This is Sam Newman's. And who have you got?
Did you actually do this?
Swans. You've got the Crows. You've got Bulldogs, Power, Dockers, Saints. Where are the Hawks? The Hawks are not there.
Just listen to this. Shut up. The season hasn't started. We've had dissenters from everyone. Just wait till the end of the year, and there'll be 2 spots for Victorian sides in the final 8. And I don't know who they'll be, but there'll be 6 interstate sides in the 8.
And no Hawks?
Well, no Hawks. Craig, I hope your eyes haven't gone on you.
I can see that.
But we'll see how far that is out at the end. Of course, have to wait 20, 30 odd weeks.
But we both agree that the Giants are the team to
I
beat.
might be dead.
Clearly the team to beat. And I think if the Giants are coached really well this year, I think that's going to be the difference and they will win the premiership.
You got no idea, mate.
I think you can lock and load that for the year.
That'll be
Everyone's
back page
playing
news
for
tomorrow.
second.
Sam and Shane's letter will be all over the paper story. Thanks, boys, for doing that. More footy show to come right after this. Staying up and watching the footy show. We're back again next Wednesday due to the AFL schedule. Have a look at that for an all-star lineup next Wednesday night. Nick Revolt to join us. Joel Selwood will be here. Open mouth with Dane Swan and bonding in the bush. It'll be absolutely magnificent. Next Wednesday night, 8:40 on Channel 9. Well, how fantastic was
Some things
Tony
I
Lockett?
take seriously, and when we speak to the great Tony Lockett, he told me in an interview that he didn't go to the Brownlow medal, and this is an interview I did, and he said, I didn't go...
Oh, that you can read that there. That's
well,
good.
he said he didn't go to the Brownlow medal. He had a big week and he just couldn't be bothered. That's basically what he said. That's why I asked him that question. But of course, when he appears with the medal around his neck, it looks a bit silly. I don't know why he told me. I don't know why he told me that.
It's fake news.
How amazing this record. Katie has won 12 premierships in the last 12 years. Can you believe that?
No, that is phenomenal.
Good luck in the VFL when you resume this year for a 13th flag in consecutive years. Darcy, well done on your achievements and thanks for joining us tonight. Best of luck. And Sam, you were right in the end. Well done, Sam. You had the last say, which is fantastic. Well done to Croft and Sam and Becca. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Right here on
See everyone.
Yeah, yeah.